Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wrestling fans all over the world, it is Aussieverse and we are back. Proudly sponsored by Comic Bookaroo. I am OmniBeau and I am here with my best friend in the entire whole world, Izzy. No, I really don't like this guy and he doesn't like me, but we both love wrestling and that's why we're here. I should mention as well that every episode moving forward is dedicated to our brother, the people's champ, Papa Wheelie. We miss you.
I miss you, Papa. If there's someone I hated more than you, Papa was not him.
So you were pretty busy today. You were saying that you didn't actually watch it. You were just listening to it in the back.
So I had the tablet on. I was hanging out with Spidey at his, his birthday bash and all that stuff. And I'm watching the wrestling and stuff like that. I didn't get to listen to it. I'll probably listen to it tomorrow and stuff like that. But yeah, saw it, and there was a surprise, but it wasn't. I don't think it was a good surprise.
Yeah, no, I don't. I thought we'll go through all the matches, but I think
not that many either, right?
Yeah. Overall, it was pretty meh. Like I was saying to you in our chat, that this is a really boring WrestleMania lead up, don't you think?
It is, especially when we're in a situation where they needed to be like, all guns blazing because they're struggling selling tickets.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, honestly, their choice for the women was a safe bet. Their choice for the men, I feel like there's more to that story.
Yeah, I mean? Plus, I'd say it's a safe bet too. But
is it a safe bet?
With Orton, yeah.
I don't think with Orton it's a safe bet unless you because it's like it's for 15, it's not for 16, right? So there's that, and they obviously want to tell this Cody turn story, because that's where they're going for. They're going for a Cody turn. So, and I think the Cody turn is gonna either it will happen at Mania or it's gonna happen at SummerSlam. It's not going to happen in like some SmackDown Raw show. It's going to happen in one of the big pay-per-views, right? Because it has to. It's going to be like the Austin turn on Rock moment. You know what I mean?
I didn't think Cody was ever going to go heel.
Oh yeah, he always talked about it, and he always said it's going to happen. So that's always been the plan, and now's the time to do it because it's starting to become we're tired of Cody type of thing, right?
Yeah,
I think that's when you don't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's the struggle is, and then what's the story's going to be? Like, you guys turn on me, which we've heard a billion times.
Hey, at the moment we've got storylines about wrestlers stealing lamps and masks. So I think the bar isn't very high.
Yeah. So, for me, it's like, I think the Rhea winning the Rumble was fine because you couldn't get Bianca ready.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think that was always for Bianca.
Yeah.
Right? So Rhea's the next best thing. I think it would have been cool to see Alexa win it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be cool, especially with the size difference between her and Jade. That would be
Let's go through it. First of all, you had Tiffany versus Kiana. That opened it up.
Yeah, Kiana had no chance in hell.
But she looked good though, didn't she? Like throughout the whole match.
They had her there. They had her there. I forgot. I don't even know why they had her there, to be honest with you.
I know.
It made no sense.
Yeah.
Like her being in there made no sense to me. Zero.
Yeah, it didn't. But she had something to prove, and I think she did that.
Yeah.
Did you see the part where Tiffany flipped her into the chamber and Raquel was pissing herself laughing?
Yeah, I saw that. But you see, Raquel, on the other hand, she looked the part. You know what I mean? And she fit in the story.
Yeah.
But everybody else was like, eh.
I liked Asuka's energy. She looked so much healthier than the last time I saw her.
Oh, yeah. But it's Asuka, man. Asuka's she's a veteran, man.
Well, speaking of Asuka, after Tiffany and Kiana, you then had Asuka come out next. Mm-hmm. And then it was Alexa and then Rhea. Alexa and Rhea had some pretty good chemistry, I thought.
Yeah.
DVH.
Hey, DVH.
Hang on. I can't hear a word you're saying. Give me a second. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Cool.
Yeah. So
what did you think of Alexa's and Rhea's chemistry? I was pretty impressed with that.
I think they know each other well enough to do it. That's how I think there's a sense of we've both been doing this for a very long time, even though we don't have as much interactions with each other. But I think there's they've already had matches recently through the tag team bouts and stuff like that. So they had that, and it's kind of like that same chemistry, right? In that way, when it's a tag team versus this 6-way type of thing, right? So I think that was there, and I think Alexa's just honestly, I think Alexa's so underrated sometimes. How good she actually is, because again, people think of her as this almost like this is this NXT call up type person. You know what I mean? Like same thing with Tiffany. I could say all I could say about Tiffany, how she's a cheerleader type, but Tiffany's great. You know what I mean? And like I said, there was that boob grab moment from Rhea Ripley. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah.
When she lifted her up, she literally was holding her boobs so she could drop her, so that she wouldn't have a an accident, because that's what that was about.
Yeah.
Right.
I was actually quite surprised.
You good, DVH?
I think I'm good. You can hear me. I can hear you. Sweet.
Yeah. So I thought that was so funny because like that's she's straight up wet.
Yeah,
because they're easy. They were easy to grab. I'll tell you that much.
It's funny because Tiffany annoys me, and then I get impressed with how good she is because I forget. And with Alexa, people forget that when she got called up, she was winning titles left, right, and center. She just kept piling them on.
She was the Tiffany back then.
Yeah.
Definitely not the same character, but that's what she was.
And then we had Bliss get eliminated after Asuka's missed. And you know what? She sold that really well. Like that legitimately looked like that hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After that,
Raquel then got taken out. She looked great. DVH, because you're a little bit late, man, what did you think about the Women's Elimination Chamber?
I think I probably preferred it of the two of them, although it was a really good sprint for the most part. I'm happy with Rhea winning. Like the problem isn't that match. The problem is that they don't really do an awful lot with the women's division at the moment. So yeah.
Well, Rhea is the star, right? So Rhea is the star.
Yeah.
So she brings
it.
She has the aura as of right now to be the star. She's the poster child for the women's division right now.
Yeah, and she should be. I mean,
she's earned that spot, right? Having her in the main event, like we said, was the safe bet. She's like the new Charlotte in that way. The only thing is, and the thing is, if it was Tiffy, I would have been okay with it as well. But we've seen that match, right? Like I said to you before, this was for Bianca to win it, and now that Bianca's out, who else are you going to give it to?
Yeah, I mean they're a bit stuck at the moment. It does feel like they're rotating the same people in and out constantly. I mean that's WWE's booking all over.
Yeah.
I've got to say I was impressed by Tiffy in this match. She usually I'm fairly critical of her in ring, but she sort of held at her end of the bargain really well. And poor girl got smashed in the face for it as well. Bloody hell.
Yo, these women, there's no joke, man. They are no joke, man. You saw what this girl did to Julia did to Rhea the other day with that kick?
Yeah.
I bet you someone told her something afterwards. Because she straight up gave her a nice shiner.
You then had Raquel doing the running power slam through the pod and then eliminating Asuka and Kiana at the same time. That's a power move.
What do you think is Raquel's thing right now? Like, there's something missing in Raquel. And
I disagree.
I think it's charisma. I think it's charisma.
I disagree.
She's never really had the chance, has she, though? I mean, we don't know.
That's what I mean.
She's always just the sidekick all the time, so you can't know whether she has.
But even when she was in NXT, she felt that way.
Yeah, but that she was crap back then. Now she's actually pretty good. Yeah, so it's different. It's a different kettle of fish. Like she can handle herself very well in the ring now, and she's just never given that opportunity. Maybe they're trying to think about evolving her a little bit and getting her in that spot.
Well, it's very clear they're building towards her and Liv sooner or later. That build-up started. So that's happening.
They just tried to make her a duplicate of Rhea Ripley.
Well, yeah. I mean, that is a match that, if she was pushed correctly, would get a lot of interest around it, just because they're two big women. Like, I mean, it's two power people going at it at Mania, for instance, would be great if they can make Raquel more than just the sidekick every single time.
Well, she needs to build a character.
They did try and protect her pretty well in this match. I mean, they gave her pinfalls and stuff like that before they inevitably beat her. Like, she looked really strong in this match, which does say something. They're looking to do something with her, I think.
Yeah. No, I think they have hopes for her.
Yep, I'd agree. But then Tiffany eliminated Raquel, which I was a bit surprised at, to be honest. And then Rhea won, which I think no one was really that surprised with.
She was the front runner.
Yep. I just want to know, do you think they ever had a plan for Rhea to turn heel against Io Sky eventually? Like, where was that going? Because they've both been heels before. They've both turned on people before. So it does seem a little bit rinse and repeat. But I just don't know why they've been doing this angle of them so close if it's not just to rip them apart.
I don't know. And honestly, one of the hard things about Io has been, can she be by herself?
Oh, yeah,
right?
Of course you can.
No, I'm talking about it. The wrestling side of her is top notch. You can't top that. She's legitimately a wrestler.
The mic skills.
I'm talking about mic skills and the ability to hold a promo. You know what I mean?
Same issue that I've gone blank. The pirate girl,
Kairi Sane.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with Kairi Sane, because people forget that Kairi Sane won the first ever women's tournament, Mae Young Classic.
Yeah. Very different thing though, because the Mae Young Classic, and the Cruiserweight division thing that they did years ago, that was just pure wrestling. That had nothing to do with promos or anything like that.
Yeah, I know, but you're not going to let Kairi Sane win unless you think they're going to do something with her. You know what I mean?
But look what they did with Toni Storm.
Yeah,
there's doing like those tournaments. All the NXT stuff was just a way to get them onto NXT. Like, that's the extent of it. Like, it wasn't about them pushing them to the main roster. I mean, if you look at like the Cruiserweight Classic, they barely mentioned it on Raw after it happened. So it never factored into Vince's sort of mindset. It was just a offshoot thing to get a bit of talent in the door.
Yeah. So
I think, then moving on. Yeah, we had AJ. Sorry, mate.
No, I agree. I think with all those wrestlers, those female wrestlers, it's that I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to build a roster that can hold on their own. And so far, there's not as many that can hold on their own in as far as the promo stuff. The wrestling's there. Because let's be honest, in the last couple of pay-per-views, when you had to compare one versus the other, I think the weaker one was Royal Rumble. But in all the other ones, they outperformed the guys all the time. Practically all the time. Yeah. But they are falling into the trap of rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
I think they have a problem in that they don't know how to book the women any differently. Like they only know how to present.
Yeah, it's always a
this one
jealousy.
way.
It's always a jealousy match.
Exactly. It's like that's the one thing they know how to do, and they just keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again. So that like it's more like it's an issue with storytelling on their behalf than the talent a lot of the time. But because it goes across the board in the women's division.
Yeah.
G'day, Matty. Thanks for joining, dude. You must be getting you right there, Matty?
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
That's all right, dude. How are you?
Pretty good, man. That's the first WWE event I've watched since Cena's retirement. So I'm not caught up on all the storylines. And I did watch Royal Rumble. I forgot I did watch Rumble. So, but my son's been more into AEW lately, so I've been watching that. And so it's I don't know all the storylines in this, but I couldn't believe there was only 4 matches. I haven't seen a main event with only 4 matches.
That's
okay.
Lately.
I don't think DVH liked you. We then had AJ Lee versus Becky for the IC title. What did you think of this one, guys?
You want to go, Matt?
AJ, well, first of all, I was kind of surprised because I haven't seen AJ Lee in a long time. So seeing the chain wrestling, I was pretty shocked that, she looked pretty sharp in the ring. Like I thought there was going to be a lot of rust. I thought there was going to be, I know she's had matches since then, but not a one-on-one match. So seeing her, she looked pretty clean. Like I said, chain wrestling was there. She didn't look like she was too winded or anything like that. And the finish, it looked like the submission was a little bit botched, but it looked mostly good. It looked pretty good. So
yeah, I think it was a good match. It was a great return for AJ. I was a little shocked that she won it, to be honest with you. I know,
yeah, me too.
Whole town crowd and all that stuff, but to me, that sounds like she's winning it here so she could lose it at Mania.
Yeah, you're right.
Although I kind of thought maybe she is going to win it because, as dumb as this sounds, with the other match that she had, she came in wearing normal shorts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember an interview that she did after that. She's like, "Oh, I was so nervous because I know that all the women need to show a bit of like cheek, and I just didn't want to do that. And I've worn, my normal shorts." And then in this match, she's come out and she's wearing like shorter shorts. And I'm like, okay, they want her to win and parade her around a bit. And I know the way that sounds, but there are just some visual facts that you can't ignore because it's men making these decisions backstage.
Yeah, and that's funny because at all these years, they still haven't gotten like a female producer. I think the only one has been Molly Holly.
It's like when they decided all of a sudden that every woman now needs to wear a circular thing around the leg so when they bend, their butt cheeks show more. Every woman wears that now, and they never used to.
Well, I would suggest that it really depends on whose decision to wear the clothing is as to who's, like to blame.
The approval department.
Like if the women are wearing stuff that they're comfortable in, then I've got no problem with it whatsoever. If they're getting directed to where they have to wear it, then
I wouldn't.
Yeah, and I don't think that's the case.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was some borderline work
nudging.
Yeah, but
conversation where they're like, look, we're not telling you to wear this, but
I mean that 100% used to happen. Yeah, I just don't know whether it still happens.
I doubt it still happens
in the old days.
I think because they have to still purchase their own wardrobe, and the only time that they're dictated to wear something different is when they're in the Saudi shows because they have to be covered up.
Yeah.
But I do think there is some truth to what you say, especially with someone like Rhea, because the more I see Rhea, the more feminine she looks. Like
the more naked she's getting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when she first appeared, she didn't have that, right?
Yeah.
She had the short hair. She would wear the long pants, and now she's like more skimpier.
That's what I mean.
But on the other side, I'm seeing someone like Alexa Bliss, and she seems a little more covered up.
That's because I'm convinced that they leave it up to the women to decide, but they heavily influence, say, you should go in this direction. And if they say no, then they're like, oh, that's fine. That's fine.
But I don't think in an era like this, obviously, definitely in the McMahon era, but in an era like this where women have become more wrestlers than eye candy, because that's where it boils down to, right? I don't think that's such the case anymore. I do believe there is a little bit of let's bring some sex appeal to the picture because you're still women, and they do it to the guys too. Don't get me wrong, the guys do it too.
Yeah.
Because come on, you ain't gonna tell me Trick doesn't look hot. You know what I'm saying? But
it's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Because if you remember back when they went PG the first time, like when they properly went heavily PG. And they would fine the women for wearing too low-cut tops and stuff like that. Like they went really hard into it, and the women genuinely wanted to, show a little bit more. Why? Because they know they're going to get pushed better if they're appealing to that demographic more. If they get over more, so it's a double-edged sword. It depends on how in the back they're being treated. If they're treated better because they look better, then, or say better, but I mean more provocative, then it is a problematic place because you're getting pushed by predominantly men, and it's all well, not all, but mainly directed at a heavily male fan base.
Yeah.
So it's going to be in their best interest to sexualize themselves a little bit, or a lot in some cases. Like, look, if you look at the popularity of Rhea Ripley, she blew up on, every social media because she became like a thirst trap sort of thing, and she ran with it. Like, really, she really embraced it. Now, I think that's wonderful that she's empowered to do that. But the question is she being pushed because of that, which is not so wonderful?
Yeah, and especially
and becomes problematic.
But she's like a really good example of that because of the character, not so much the character, the person, just in general, who she was when she first arrived. And I'm talking about the long blonde hair girl from Australia, right?
Yeah.
And then she become like, this is the one person, whenever I show people like, oh yeah, this is what she used to look like, everybody's shocked.
Yeah.
Because of the 180 change she went through, right?
It's like total transformation.
Yeah, completely different individual. and I know there has to be a little bit of her that she's like she opened up to who she really is, type of thing.
Yeah.
Because you don't make a
like she feels that way. Like
so I'm sure that was her that changed how she looked and feel. Like she was, it was almost like she was liberating herself from this person she once was to who she is today, right? But at the same time, I always find it kind of strange. Like I'm the guy that goes, you went from having no tattoos to your whole body's a tattoo. That's interesting to me how that happens, right?
But she also was very young when she got signed. Like she was just
but it's
19, I think.
It's this mindset. It's kind of, it happened with Saraya, right? It happened with Saraya as well, where Saraya, like, there was something inside of her that just blew up and she became what she ends up becoming today. And I can't wait to see her return. I really wanted to see her return, to see what kind of character she will be there now. But I honestly think what WWE really, and same thing with AEW. I think in general, in all women's division, they need to have female producers. They need other women, and it's you cannot possibly tell me they're not out there, because there's plenty.
They absolutely need them. Like that.
They need them.
Yeah,
you need to hire someone like Mercedes Martinez. You could hire the Gail Kim, maybe not in WWE, but you could hire Gail Kim. You could hire oh my god, her name, Mickey James, Lita, if Lita wants to do it. These are women.
They don't just need producers though; they need writers. Like you see Unreal. It's just a bunch of old white men.
But that's the point.
It's a whole room of old white men. So
that's the point. It's like
Absolutely.
you want to express diversity. Okay, you're doing it in the ring, but you got to do it backstage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think there's also been a big change. Like I think there's been a ton of positives. Obviously, you're right. There's a lot still that they need to work on and further. But thank goodness, look how legitimate and how awesome the women's division is now compared to where it was 10, 20 years ago. I mean, it's a legitimate. You could go up and down the cards in AEW or WWE and argue that some of the female matches are better than most of the male matches. I mean, match for match in a lot of those matches. So that part has been great. But I 100% agree with you. I do think, I don't know if it's an individual by individual thing, but I do think some people, when they're coming in, especially early to NXT or something like that, I do think there's that pressure just in our culture, but also I would imagine, I'm not accusing WWE or anybody of this, but I imagine there is pressure put on them to kind of over sexualize themselves, not to the 1990s level of craziness like it was, but to keep that edge to grab an eye for the company type thing. So I mean, I don't think it's necessarily great, because these women are actually talented people. It's not just eye candy. They're legitimate wrestlers. They're really good athletes, and so.
So you're saying that they have to provide their own clothes, which I already knew, but I don't understand, how does that work with people like Seth Rollins, where every week you're coming out with a flamboyant? Is that him buying that? I assumed
that's him and Becky. Yeah, that's him and Becky.
No, see, I always assumed that was WWE's wardrobe giving it to him.
No. That's him.
I mean, they do have seamstresses and stuff like that, but they still have to pay for everything. And
that's all them.
Oh,
and that's always been the case. Ric Flair's robes, that was Ric Flair.
Yeah, okay. For some reason, I just thought Seth, someone that comes out different every week in such flamboyant clothes, I thought that might be an exception to the rule.
No, it's become his character, and that's coming out of his budget.
Yeah, okay.
This is probably a good place to talk about this too. There was a few weeks last summer where some of the numbers on the FOC had dipped a little bit for Aussieverse, and Bo started coming out with some low cut stuff, and I was a little uncomfortable at the time, Bo, but I just wanted to address it right now.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those. It didn't work, did it?
No.
It lost views.
I love how in the match with AJ and Becky Lynch, the referee gets smashed into the belt buckle and doesn't go down when the referee go down for everything.
What's the name of that referee? I forget her name.
Jessica Carr.
Okay.
There you go.
Clearly, we know they're building to that story.
Yeah.
They've
been building it for like a year now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the slowest story ever. But I think it's gonna finally come into fruition on Monday. She's gonna probably confront her, and then
you wait. We'll be talking about this at SummerSlam, and it's still out.
I think she's ready. I think Cara's ready to go and stuff like that. And
wasn't she meant to be like Kalex or something with the mask?
Yeah,
she was, but they're not going to cover her up with the mask.
We then had a new Intercontinental Champion, which Izzy said earlier, and I agree.
I was shocked.
That not only that, but it's probably just for WrestleMania, and she'll lose it there, yeah?
Yeah, probably.
She'll probably lose it at WrestleMania because she's not a full-timer.
We then had Finn Balor versus CM Punk for the world title.
Go back for a second.
The AJ match, I think we need to talk about a little bit, because I have not been particularly impressed with her in ring since she's been back. Her character work has been spot on still.
3 matches, don't forget.
Yeah, I know it's not a lot, but I felt in this match she really held up her end better than she had in everything else.
Leaps and bounds.
It felt like the rust was off finally.
100%.
She was going. Also, so I'm absolutely over the moon that she's got the championship now.
So,
I think it's great.
So here's the one thing, and I want to address this with AJ. She's back, right? CM Punk's back. She's back. She soon follow. You cannot tell me that this is the only title she's going to gun for.
No, she needs the world championship.
She needs the world championship only
just so that they can
because-
stop talking about those stupid butterfly belts. That they
Well, that's
used to
the
have.
thing. It's
Like-
I think it was, I forgot who was it that said it in the pre-show, that she cracked the wall, she cracked the ceiling only for Becky to break it, right? Which is true. During that era, she was the only wrestler in the bunch. She was still eye candy, but she was not as much as eye candy as the rest of them.
But
right?
it's not just that. She was the one that went onto Twitter and got the movement started.
Yeah.
So it's everything to do with the way they transitioned into a real women's division started from her impetus. So she needs that respect. And she needs that world championship.
She needs that world
they can say
championship.
that. Yeah.
If anything, she should have been in the Elimination Chamber going after Jade Cargill, but it's still
That's what I
it's still
think.
too early.
But-
It's still too early for it's still too early in that way. Like, but the thing is like Jade Cargill is not a safe wrestler,
No.
right? So you got to put it with someone that could either handle her toe to toe, or someone that is believable enough to take her down. And
I think
don't
it's
know
cool
if
too
AJ
because
has that ability.
I think AJ will work the psychological game on her though. I think they'll hit that angle where she can try to get inside Jade's head, and make Jade her own worst enemy.
Yeah,
I'm
but
actually
Jade-
glad. Good.
Jay's just one of those wrestlers that it's like Jay she's such a female Goldberg,
Oh yeah, no, real. That's real talk.
and it's like I personally like Jay. I like her character work, but it's so one dimensional.
I always didn't like her, but then when she actually turned heel, that first moment she turned heel and she
That fits her.
dominated whatever she was doing.
That's what, because
I
that's the
actually then-
natural heel.
I actually then
Yeah.
went, wow, this could actually work. And then they
Mhm.
stuffed it up by not letting her defend it.
I mean, that's just, there's a bit of bad luck there because remember she had that massive cut on her face.
But
And
that was a good moment though.
That really hampered her being able to wrestle, honestly, because that's a huge gash that she had there. So, like, this crazy amount of time she hasn't defended the championship is sort of just a really unfortunate
Healing her up.
accident. Yeah, I love Jade as a heel. She shouldn't be a face remotely. She's got
Yeah.
like resting bitch face, perfect. like I mean, she's wonderful at it, and I have no problem with her being treated like Goldberg either, because like she isn't top class in a ring, so you need to protect the hell out of her. Don't expect her to be the other thing, and you've got loads of people that can work really well. So if you are going to invest all this time and money in someone, maybe just keep her matches to a minimum
She
and
should be squashing people.
shape it round her. Yeah, exactly. Just squash
I
left,
say
right.
hook her up with Omos and let them be like the Goldberg couple. that just
Well,
do
who's
consecutive
um,
matches.
oh my god, her name's escaping me, but who's the former TNA champion that's there now?
Jordan Grace?
Jordan Grace.
No,
I
sorry.
think
Oh,
she
yeah.
will be perfect for her. Jordan Grace is perfect for Jade, in my opinion.
Yeah,
She was on SmackDown, wasn't she, this week?
Yeah.
What did she do on SmackDown? I don't know.
To
she
wrestling.
fought.
Easy, guys.
Oh god, who did she fight? Oh, wasn't it to do with the she service, whatever they call it? I think it was that
Was
that
it?
Scottish girl.
No,
Oh,
she
right.
was facing Johnny Gargano's wife. I can't remember. her
Oh,
name.
it was. Yeah, it was Candice LeRae. Yeah.
Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
Another one. Candice LeRae, man. She has to leave WWE soon.
Oh mate,
I mean,
Candice LeRae.
They're both leaving as soon as they freaking can. You can just
I don't
tell,
even
right?
know where this Gargano story is going. It's actually making me crack up laughing.
Neither do
though.
they. Neither do
But
they.
when you said Planky, I was like, no, that's Johnny Gargano's job right now. Like, I lost my mate. I will admit, and that has been making me laugh. But yeah, I think when it comes to the whole Jade Cargill of it all, she needs to be put together with wrestlers that could lead in her dance. She needs to follow them. And if she follows them, she'll learn the ropes and she'll eventually learn how to become a strong character. Because she has she definitely has mic skills. She
Mhm.
has the look, She has everything you want. The only thing is she's not a wrestler.
Have you guys, sorry to switch it, but have you guys seen Johnny Gargano's room tour at home?
Mm-hmm.
No.
He's a big comic collector.
Oh yeah, dude, he's a huge comic.
A lot of keys, man. I was very surprised. A lot of keys.
Oh, you see his outfits? His outfits are wrestling based usually.
Yeah, but still, you know what I mean? Just because somebody likes the movies or whatever.
He's the real deal.
Yeah. All right, you then had Finn Balor versus CM Punk. How'd you feel about this one, guys?
It was going to be a banger, so everybody knew it. It was going to be a banger. And again, it's going back to Finn going babyface again.
Is he, though?
He is. He will.
I was just happy to see Finn. I was just happy to see Finn in a main event style match like that one-on-one. I mean, he's underrated. He's a great worker, just like KO was, all those kinds of guys. And usually they're just used as support, like the way they've been written into the stories the last year and a half, 2 years, 3 years now. They're just used as support to boost other guys, which is fine. I mean, I think everybody does that in their career. But I mean, to only exclusively be used to boost guys when you're a great worker like that, it's kind of a shame.
It's a waste to not have him in main event matches when he's so damn good. Everybody knows he's that good. That's why 100%. He's still there. Because if he was rubbish, like, they would have binned him off years ago. But he is amazing in the ring.
The Judgment Day whole thing kind of hurt him because someone else ended up getting the rub when it should have been him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like with Damian Priest.
Yeah.
And I like Damian Priest, Puerto Rican, but Damian Priest got the rub that should have belonged to Finn Balor. And the problem is that with the Judgment Day, they played this whole nobody's the leader type of thing. We're all equals. When clearly Finn is a leader and he should be treated like one. So I think Finn versus Dom is going to be a big deal when it finally happens.
I hope so. I hope it's a big deal. And I hope they have a plan for it. That's my thing. I'm never convinced that they have a plan for anything going forward. Yeah, and that's the main concern, because it does seem like they're thinking about turning Finn face, but at the same time, it would not shock me if, just like I said about the Jessica Carr thing, where they're just going to keep stalling it forever, because maybe they don't have an idea.
Because I think their ideas now are, how can we confuse the fan base now? I think their story now is, let's make it seem like this is gonna happen and we're gonna swerve them. You're right.
Remember, and most of their setup ideas are actually better than what the payoff ends up being. So I 100% agree with you, Izzy.
So
every time
they want to do it, and this seems to be like a Triple H trope. Let's perform a swerve, right? And to be honest with you, the swerve's pretty good because you didn't see it coming. I like that. When the New Day turned, I thought that was great. Until now, where they did nothing with it. You know what I mean? It's like, if the New Days are heels, they should be the biggest heels and they should be the champions as heels.
It's almost like they're writing as like clickbait. They're almost writing just for the high spot and not for the story.
Yeah. You know, they're Marvel writing.
Sounds right. I'd like to point out that Punk really held up his own still in that match. It wasn't just Finn. I don't think you're getting a better match out of Punk in WWE, at least, than that one. I think it was really, really well done. And with a better build up, maybe, but as a sort of execution of a match, it was as good as he's been in ages. So
I think Punk they've been letting Punk do what he wants to get done, and it seems to be working. Where if he has a certain say, it's not creative control, but it's more like if he has a say in who he wants to fight or who he thinks he should fight, I think they're allowing him to do it because they know they don't have that many more years with him. Punk has probably two to 3 years tops, in my opinion, especially the way he moves right now. You could tell he's getting older because he is older.
That elbow drop that he does, the Macho Man one, he needs to cut that out, because I physically winced when he did it. not only was he trying to protect himself and make it, and it not look very good because like he sort of just fell off the apron because he didn't want to take the bump on his hip. Then it like it just don't do it.
Yeah.
You're an old man.
He's not fearless anymore.
Yeah.
He's not fearless, but he's always been a bit grounded at times, but he was never that grounded. He has to be grounded now because he knows his body can't handle. And he's trying to protect himself because he doesn't want to get hurt for Mania. Let's be honest. He has to protect him.
I'm already bored with him. I want him to turn heel.
He'd probably never turn heel.
I think he will. It's just a matter of when, though.
I would love for him to because he's a great heel, but at the same time, I don't think the fan face will really let him. Like, even if he does it, they'll just keep. Like, he'll be a tweener at best, and it just won't work well.
I don't think they'll ever turn him heel is because, like you said, I think his fan base is just too demanding of who he is, so it'll always come across as a tweener anyway. The other thing is that who is he going to turn heel on?
Against
there's not that many choices. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I think he'd rather just be a pure wrestler and just have wrestling matches with people.
I've got a jet soon, so let's talk about the main event. But quickly, what about the crate?
I loved it. Every moment of it. I'm just scared where it's gonna go.
Yeah, man.
Very nice.
It's gonna go nowhere. Is where it's gonna go.
I'm amazed that it happened, though. I was shocked that they actually pulled it off. Like, I was feeling it was going to be Danhauser. It just made sense. It felt very Danhauser-like. But and you know what? To be honest, I'm really happy for Danhauser because that's that's when you know you're a big deal. When WWE calls you and says, "You want to work with us, and we're going to keep you just as you are."
Yeah,
like he didn't have to. He didn't change who he is. The indie guy came to WWE. They called him. He didn't call them. He didn't beg.
Plus, I think one thing they understood in the 80s that they don't understand now is wrestling's a circus. It needs all kind of acts, and it can use some comedy. It's fine. Like, comedy is good. It's fine to be that. I mean, and plus he can legitimately wrestle too. He's not just comedy, but you can do comedy too. Like they took that away from Otis back during COVID. And it killed the character. Like, when they took his comedy out of his character, it kind of killed it. It wasn't him anymore. It wasn't even the same character anymore. So there was nowhere to go with it. So
and he knows he's not. He knows he's not going to be a world champion. He's well aware of that. But what's interesting is who he's going to be meshing with and stuff like that. Like, who is he? Obviously, they're going to do something with him and R-Truth. It's kind of obvious that's going to happen, right?
100%.
I cannot wait to see it because I think it's going to be the funniest stuff I've ever seen.
My worry about the whole thing was that they didn't appear to have a plan for him. Like, they had this intro, but that's literally all they did. And I think if their plan extends to just that, then he's in trouble already because you've got guys like Penta not doing anything, and like Penta's amazing, and like he's a damn sight better in ring.
Penta's doing way more than Ray Phoenix, though.
Well, yeah, I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, so like you've got Danhausen coming in, and he's got an intro, and nothing at all.
I was surprised. I was surprised he wasn't at least allowed to speak. I thought for sure there was going to be at least something on the mic, at least something, but there was nothing. It just ended.
And meanwhile, you've got Powerhouse Hobbs just sat in the back doing absolutely nothing. Debuting.
They just wanted a pop for Royal Rumble. Let's be honest.
Well, that's my point.
That appearance was to say that, look who we got. That's all it was.
They don't have a plan. That's my problem. They don't have a plan for anybody.
That's across the board. That's like the epidemic. That's like the WWE epidemic right now. Is the writing? There's no plan. There's nothing laid out. That makes really much sense. They work on like one or two stories, and everything else is kind of just like play as you go type thing.
And honestly, the Danhauser thing of it was definitely a CM Punk call.
Oh yeah,
That was the CM Punk.
Oh yeah, Pepsi Phil.
Chicago.
Pepsi Phil.
You know, they were. You know, he gave CM Punk his shoes. I know the story. I talked directly to Danhauser. Like in New York,
yeah, he's cool.
So I've had conversations with him. Him and CM Punk are tight. So that was CM Punk saying, "Hey, let's bring this guy in here."
They better be tight. Punk gave him a ASM 1, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, that was crazy.
No, they're tight. They're definitely tight. And I think the whole thing with Danhauser is, I think it has everything to do with social media more than anything.
Oh
They're gonna utilize his social media presence.
That, and he's a merch machine.
And he's a merch machine.
He does well on his own. You put WWE behind him, that merch is gonna go.
Put that little logo in the back right there. Forget about it.
You know what? Izzy?
We get Danhausen versus Mr. Iguana. Like that's
that's a dream match. Dream match.
Yeah.
Izzy, you brought up a great, which we could use as a great segue to get back to the men's chamber match, which is social media, because that's what started Logan Paul here. And I want to tell you something, and I might be in the minority. I don't know where we are as a community in wrestling, but kayfabe. I'm not talking about kayfabe heat, legit real heat. I can't stand this guy. Like I'm not just.
I think 95% of the world hates
So here's the thing: I can't stand the guy
family.
either, but I respect him for at least sticking with it, and not only that, and
he's not terrible.
Okay,
he's not terrible either. Yeah.
I'm gonna go on the record and say this because I don't have a problem saying this. He should have won the chamber.
I think that would be a better draw for me. Absolutely.
And here's the thing. The problem. Okay, the first problem is I love Drew McIntyre.
Yeah,
me too.
He is
heel or not. Love him.
He is not a WrestleMania eventer unless his other guy is bigger than him. Logan Paul, they're having problems selling tickets right now. You put Logan Paul in the main event in WrestleMania, people are going to buy it just because they want to see his ass get whipped.
He's still going to have a huge match against Seth or somebody, though. It'll still be there.
And the whole Seth thing is because Braun Breaker's out.
Oh yeah, but I mean he is out, so they have to do something.
So they had to do something with. I think Logan Paul, and besides, it's going to be a marquee match anyway, right? So it's not like it's not going to be a big match. But if you would have put him in a title picture, all would people start talking, because you're going to have the hater, the wrestling purists still hate his guts, but then you're going to have the general public hate his guts, but you're also going to have the media on top of this.
Plus all the people he ripped off on the cryptocurrency. They're going to be hating him too.
Yeah. Everybody's going to watch it just to see his ass get whooped. And then he wins it, and that's going to be a big deal because he's going to win a world title. I'm calling it. It probably happened this year, probably happened next year. But within the next 2 years, I promise you Logan Paul will be a world champion. Guaranteed.
I will say I did love seeing, I don't mean to switch subjects, but I did love seeing Orton though. I'm happy, because that's a long road back. I mean, he came back from a lot of injuries throughout a long time, over a long period. He came back, then had setbacks. So it was good to see him. I mean, I understand he's on the older side, but I really like Randy still.
Yeah, I still don't think this is the match for him. Like, it feels weird.
Style wise, you mean, or what do you mean?
It's like I don't see him as a main event for WrestleMania anymore. Like, I don't see him drawing with Drew McIntyre.
He feels a bit toothless. Like he isn't the guy that was a heat magnet as a heel. He's over as a babyface, don't get me wrong. He is, but he's not like everybody's there to say, yeah, we like Randy. Yeah.
Well, he's respected.
Good job, man.
He's a respected veteran. So he's a veteran baby face, and what happens to veteran baby faces is the same thing that always happens. They lost their luster.
Well, they need a gimmick for this match. They need to heat it up.
I think Cody. I think this becomes a third wheel. I think this becomes a three-way match, and Cody's the other part. And I think And I think that's where Cody makes his heel turn, 100%.
I think this is a 4-way match to be because Jacob Fatu is in there somewhere.
That would be awesome. I got no complaints there.
I think Jacob Fatu's in there because everybody knows which is the real main event. And everybody knows that's not the main event. It's so funny how that's the bigger title, but because CM Punk is wearing this belt and now Roman Reigns is going after that belt, it's no longer the bigger title.
Fatu's feuding with Sammy, isn't he? Like, isn't the plan to do Sammy Jacob at Mania, as far as I know?
There's discussion because they're doing something with Sammy. I don't know exactly what they're trying to do.
I feel like
Sammy,
that's where they're going.
But I think the whole Fatu has yet to get his hands on Drew yet.
Doc, you bringing up Sammy though too, man? Like that's another guy. Like if you watch him in the Indies and you watched him throughout the time, that's another guy that's been muted by a lot of the writers. He's a great. I mean, he did get his little shine there after the Bloodline, after all that, and he got his his run against with Gunther and all that. Like that did go, but it took so long to get there. That guy's he's a good worker too.
Yeah. There's so much. There's so much problems because you just mentioned someone that's was nowhere to be found that should have been there, and that's Gunther. You're already killing his heat.
Oh, it's awful.
You're already killing his heat.
Gunther? The guy. Oh my! Don't get me started.
You let Cena tap to the guy. You let Cena go against everything he stood for his whole career and tap to the guy, and then do that.
And then you do it with AJ. You do it with AJ. You do it with AJ. The minute you put him on, like the biggest mistake was putting him in the Royal Rumble. You put him in the Royal Rumble, he loses to Roman, and that's the end of it. That's the end of it. It's over. It's like,
I mean, they could rehab him, but the point is that they aren't. Like it's ridiculous that they're treating him.
No,
this
they're gonna
way.
probably give him Rey Mysterio or someone along those lines.
Yeah.
Or you know what? He could have had the match with Randy, and Randy could have been the guy.
Well, at the moment, he's feuding with Dragon Lee, like which is just the worst.
But that's the leeway to Ray. That's the game.
That's no disrespect. No disrespect to Dragon Lee, but 100% with what you just said, man. That's insane.
Dragon Lee is a fantastic wrestler, but you wouldn't know that if you watch WWE. Like
they don't know what to do with luchadors. Watch him run through Dragon Lee. He's gonna run through Penta, and then Rey Mysterio is gonna come in, and then that's when the match comes in, and that's supposed to be like, oh, put your career on the.
You also pointed out, Izzy, that 3 of them in the Elimination Chamber all had gold trunks.
Yeah, what was the deal with the white and gold?
Which I didn't.
I didn't notice it until you said it. No.
But yeah,
white and gold is the WrestleMania trunks. Everybody knows white and gold is WrestleMania trunks, not Elimination Chambers.
I also like how Michael Cole, man, he's got to retire. I think because he's saying things that just make no sense. like Paul Heyman has never made a mistake with talent in all of his years. Are we just forgetting Ted DiBiase's son? Then then Trick Williams does the bookend or the rock bottom, a double one, and he goes, "Oh, he's just done a double choke slam," and I'm like, "No, he hasn't." Like, I don't know what's going on anymore, mate. Like.
There were you mentioned all these guys, right? You mentioned Trick. We didn't talk about LA Knight either, but I would have been good with Trick Williams winning. I think Trick Williams had some kind of momentum.
Here's the thing about Trick. I was all for it when we were talking in the IG chat before he started wrestling. And then he started wrestling, and I was like, "Well, maybe not." It's like the guy has charisma up the wazoo, and he's over already, which is wonderful. But he will bore me to tears in the ring because he's just a crap.
But could it be? But you know how some people are when you know this is not your night, you don't treat it like it's your night.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
How about LA Knight? LA Knight had the botch on the ropes too. That was kind of embarrassing. I know. That was so bad. Such a key spot. It's like,
So we were in the IT chat, and I literally, I looked at it, and I said, "LA botch." That was
I felt
bad.
so bad for him, honestly, because it
Yeah.
was just one of those things.
It's
But
a
also,
botch.
he got eliminated straight after it. So your
Yes.
last memory is him botching his big spot and then getting carted off to the back.
But
Ugh.
he's
I find
another
it
one that
weird.
lost his opportunity when he lost to Roman in Saudi. That also killed. They know how to kill people's momentums.
Yeah, they do.
Not only kill momentums, but after doing this for decades, they still don't understand how to capitalize on certain catchphrases and lines. Like, for example, all of a sudden, this dumb line from Trick Williams, magically, the lemon pepper steppers, right? That magically caught fire, right? Now, if you want something to continue to catch fire and be cool, like what, or Austin 316 or whatever, right? You don't shove it in their faces, us, the audience, and say, and like, what I'm trying to say is that Trick Williams now comes out and goes, and now I'm out in my lemon pepper steppers, and it's like,
Yeah, they are killing it. Yeah, you're right.
Cool. You know, you
but
make it cool by
traditional
not
WWE.
really acknowledging it that much. You know what I mean? And then sometimes saying it. The other thing that I find weird is that Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes are both on SmackDown. And as soon as that happened, I thought, oh, awesome. We're going to see both of them reunite or hate each other again. And they haven't even talked to each other on the show. And Trick Williams just came and he's already surpassed Carmelo Hayes. And another thing,
I think that's probably why they don't want the Carmelo Hayes stink on him. Like,
even though Carmelo Hayes has the championship.
Yeah, I know. Wasn't on this pay-per-view though, was he? Or PLE?
Yeah, mostly no one else was.
Well, nobody was. There was only 4 matches.
There only ever is 4 matches now. It's driving me insane.
It is nuts. They complain that the AEW show is too long, but I'd rather have a show that's too long that you could jump in and out of if you wanted to, than to sit. I have 4 matches. I mean, that's crazy.
I don't want them to be too long because guess what? When they're in New York and I go to those matches, I go home extremely exhausted because the New York shows that they've done. The last New York show we went, and by the time we got to the third to last match, which was the women's world title match, where Chris Stanlander wins. Oh my god, we were dead. We were dead. Like the crowd, and you could see it in the video. You watch it, you could see the crowd's not into it, and it was like
they're slowly fading. Yeah,
because you killed us with all these matches, and the thing is, there are very spot fest matches in AEW. So the spot fests bring up the adrenaline. But guess what happens when you continuously bring up adrenaline? We get tired afterwards. And
that Kyle Fletcher, Kyle Fletcher Mark Briscoe match. Oh my god, man, that's one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life.
They're
that was
great
insane.
matches, and they're awesome matches, and they're great to watch on video. When you're there live, you're just like, for me, I'm just worried I'm not going to get a parking spot when I'm home at 3:00 in the morning.
You got to get an Izzy standy to put in the seat so you can take breaks every once in a while.
You don't know, man. Me and my friends were all sleeping. Like we were into it and everything, and then after a while, you just see us all like fading away. Like, and that was the case with everybody. And I remember when we went to it, I think what was the pay-per-view that was in New York? I forgot which pay-per-view was.
I can't remember which one. I know it was recently that it wasn't too long.
It was Full Gear. It was Full Gear. It was Full Gear. That was the one. So we're there, and there was like some school thing, but it was clearly a it was kind of like a boys and girls club type of thing that they were there, and they were all into it. But it got to the point that everybody they were like, no, we have to go home now. You see the kids like, there's like 3 more matches. It's like, no, we gotta go.
There was a time back. I'm in Pennsylvania. There was a time when WWE came around. It was a little bit after the Heart Attack tour with Bret Hart as champion and stuff. And we went to a show. And usually the live shows would last about 3 or 4 hours. They were doing a lot of taping this night. and we were there like 8.5 hours. And listen, we lived, breathed everything wrestling back then. Even we were like, Mom, you think we can go home soon?
Yeah.
Like it was so long.
You get to this point that it's like you love it to death, but you can't take it anymore. And I think where WWF's matches lately have been too short, AEW has been just too long. I say if you start a show at 7 p.m., it should go to 11 p.m. That's the good sweet spot, right?
Yeah, it's a good happy medium, yeah.
My opinion is that AEW should try and do 4-hour pay-per-views, like be tight 4 hours.
They put way too many matches.
They always do. You're right, but like 4 hours is pretty much where most people burn out at. Whereas for WWE, they should do a 3 hours, but put more stuff in those 3 hours. Like there was like legitimately 30 minutes of an entrance today.
I was just gonna
it was forever.
The main event, the chamber one was like the War and Peace version of intros. It was so incredibly long. I could have listened to the intro to the Hotel California probably like 5 times during that intro. It was like so long.
Wait, and to think we didn't even have Jey Uso in the show.
Yeah, it's true.
Exactly.
They could have rolled it back. Please don't roll it back.
We had a legitimate 25-minute main event level match in the period it took for them to walk out, and it wouldn't be a longer show, would it? That's my thing.
Yeah.
But going back to the matches, I didn't get to see Javon Evans do as much stuff as they promised us he was gonna do. And I think he could have done more, and I think he had the potential to do more, and he was excited to do more. I think Trick Williams was not ready to do that match, or he felt disencouraged about the match. Cody Rhodes is Cody Rhodes. It was just fine. The Logan Paul situation with Seth Rollins was obviously supposed to have been this guy, so he just took his place, Bronson Reed's place, which I know it's going to lead up, which I think would have been a better match anyway, to be honest with you. It's going to be a better match with Seth Rollins and Logan Paul at the end.
Oh, they should have a great match.
They should.
Yeah.
But didn't they fight before already?
Yeah, probably, but
I'm trying to think, because I'm thinking about the time that they both jumped the ropes in Rumble last year.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a great match. So they set that up, which made sense to do it there. And then you had what was the other? You got Orton and LA Knight.
Sure.
LA Knight didn't really have a chance to do anything, and of course the botch kind of messed up everything there. It was anticlimactic. I love Andy Orton, and like I said before, he's earned his place, right? However, the main event of WrestleMania is not that place. I'm sorry,
like
he's not that wrestler anymore.
They could.
I really do think
exciting, but they're not going to. They're going to just turn it into a triple threat. If they did a strap match or something like that, something really like a blood feud type.
If
situation.
it was Cody versus Drew one more time, if let's just say, let's change it. If it was Cody versus Drew one more time, I would have been okay with it because they probably would have taken us to a Hell in a Cell type match, right? Because that's probably that's how this ends this feud. Give me a hell, because they got to end in the Hell in a Cell.
Inferno match back, baby.
Oh no, man! I want to see people actually get on fire, right? And Cody's willing to put himself on fire. We already know that from his AEW days. Give me a Hell in a Cell level match, and then I'm okay with it.
You know what gimmick match I want to see again? The WCW 3 cages.
3 cages.
Oh, I remember that match.
That match was awesome, but it never went.
There's
well.
no David Arquette. But
No.
I want to see that.
Those matches never went well.
You know what's weird though? They would have such great ideas. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. They would have such great ideas, but they weren't good at like bringing them to fruition. They weren't good at putting them together and making them work.
It was wheelchair wrestling, you know what I'm saying? But the problem that they had with those matches, especially when you do a cage match, they didn't know how to reinforce the cage properly.
Yeah, so especially the bottom part.
But by the time you got to the second level or the third level, you were on top of a cage that had no sort of support, so you couldn't really perform some of the moves that you could normally do on a mat because there was no way of doing it. So you just have to do what you got to do.
I tell you what, I got pissed off with Javon Evans when he came out and he started climbing the cage. I'm like, ooh, he's going to go to the top of the cage.
Yeah, me too.
Crazy. And then he didn't.
But why? Why was he doing that? Like, I don't know. I was like,
because
there's a ceiling on the top of the cage, like, so you can't get in. Like, what?
And then I did like it how, you know, he's now, I guess, trademark intro where he's like, yeah, you know. And this time, I don't know if you heard it, but he goes,
I'm nervous.
But you know, that's something I actually love about Javon Evans, because he's clearly so happy to be there. You know,
can you imagine
Michael Cole turning around, and I can't remember what move it was, but let's say it was a DDT for argument's sake. I can't even remember who did it, but he goes, oh, and there's Randy Orton's patented DDT, and I'm like, who's patenting moves for these people? And why can other people do these moves then if they're patented? What do you mean patented? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
It's like when he always used the word vintage. I was like, so they did the move 3 times in his career. Now it's considered vintage.
Imagine LA Knight goes out the back one day and turns around in the gorilla position or whatever in a meeting, you know, and he goes, I just want you guys to know that I've patented my finishing move, so nobody is allowed to do it ever again. You know,
you know who did that? I'm sure Becky Lynch would do something like that, because I love her character. Like,
I mean, that would be
you know who says I'm the greatest wrestler of all? Sports Illustrated says I'm the greatest. Bleacher Report says I'm the great. I love that.
See, and that's the thing. That's why I like the heels, because all baby faces are just cookie cutter, dumb scripts. They're just, you know, where the baddies, like, I was getting so sick to death of Becky Lynch, man. I was hating her for like a good 2 years, and now I find her really entertaining because of this heel. You know, I find the heels so much more entertaining. It's why I want Punk to be a heel. It's why I want oh god, now I've gone blank. There was someone else who mentioned a little while ago. Anyway, that's why I think heels are better.
Heels have always been better, man.
Yeah,
they've always. There's only a few guys that could pull off babyface. Orton is a good example of that.
So that's it. It was Orton. Yeah. No, Orton's a much better heel.
But Orton's heel is scary. He's a scary heel, which I love when he's like legitimately like dangerous.
We shouldn't be going, yay, whatever he does.
You know who's the best at doing both at the same time? And I miss him to death. Kevin Owens is so good at doing both.
Yeah.
Like he could do heel any day, but then he could flip it and literally be the same guy as a face. Right?
That's why
that's where the problem is. They don't allow baby faces to continue to be the characters that they were.
Yeah.
It's like Hogan used to do all the heel stuff. He always would do as a babyface, right? And it never hurt him. Not like he was raking eyes and all sorts of stupid.
That's true. He choking Slaughter with a flag. Yeah, all that.
Let's be honest. The Sid Justice Hogan. It was clearly Hogan's fault. It was clearly his fault.
It's so funny. You just reminded me of when I was a little boy and I watched that Royal Rumble with my dad. And I was fairly new to wrestling at that time. And when Hogan got eliminated by Sid and Hogan cracked it so much, my dad's like, why is he getting angry? It's all for one. Like, that's like, the rule.
Why would you do that to me? I'm Hulk Hogan. Why are you throwing me out? He's like, and you see Sid like, but yeah, it's Sid's fault. He did what he was supposed to do.
My best illustration for why WWE has never been good at taking a heel and making them a face is the Big Show, because like as a heel, Big Show was massively like, he's a monster, a legitimate monster, Then they would turn him face, and every single time he would come out with a big goofy grin, start waving, and be like, "Hi guys, I'm a good guy now." Sort of thing. And you're just like, where was that monster that we thought was a legitimate threat?
But that was,
we have to.
But that was the beauty of the Attitude Era, right? The beauty of the Attitude Era was the fact that these guys were actually allowed to become who they really are, because McMahon was fighting against WCW and didn't know how to really take it down, until he just said, "Do whatever you want. We'll figure this out as the time goes." Say what you want to say about it, but what made the Attitude Era so good was the fact Vince wants to take all the credit because that's typical Vince. It was Vince saying, "I give up. Do what you want to do, and let's see where it takes us." And they did. That's where Austin became Austin, because Austin never changed his character. He was the same guy throughout and through. It's where The Rock became just cool because he knew how to say catchphrases and he knew how to insult people. So why not insult the bad guys and then love it? Those guys.
It's where Mae Young gave birth. It's where Mae Young gave birth to a hand.
Yeah, that was definitely a McMahon move, though. But it was a lot of that where, it was DX being who they were. You know what I mean? And it was like, that's why people love that era so much, because it was, there was definitely cringe stuff going on in that era. If you ever go back to that era, you could see not all of it was good, but it was always entertaining. And what made it work was these guys said, "F it, we're going to be who we are." And it worked. And then, even someone like Undertaker, man, when he turned into badass, everybody's like, "Is this going to work?" And, but he ended up being himself. And, American Badass Undertaker, I don't really like American Badass Undertaker, but he was just a biker dude. And there was no real character. It wasn't like he was a bad guy or a good guy. He was just, okay, I'll beat up this guy this time, and they'll beat up that guy in that time. And that's what made it work. Where, when we get to the PG era, where everything had to be desensitized or it had to be sterilized or whatever kind of eyes it had to be, that they lost some of that, right? And it became McMahon's show all over again. And I think now with Triple H, and Triple H is being the best he could do. But when your mentor was McMahon, sometimes you're trying to think like McMahon would, and it's not always good. And I think the fact
it's all about the level of control that they have.
Yeah,
because like the Attitude Era worked because they were collaborative on everything with the wrestlers, whereas now everything since the Attitude Era,
everything is programmed
more and more written constantly. It's all everybody's. So that's why you have guys like Big Show coming out and waving and kissing babies when they're a baby face, even though they were just a monster like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
like it doesn't make any sense.
Unreal. One thing Unreal does, the show, which I watched the first season, then watched the second season. But one of the things it shows how they sit in this little boardroom talking about the story, where the wrestler is not present to talk about their character and who their character is. If the wrestler was present to talk about both of the wrestlers are there to talk about their characters, then you could say, you know what if we did this? What if we did that? No, the decisions is being made before the wrestlers could even think about how to do it. You know what I mean? If there was some level of involvement with the wrestlers, I promise you it would be a better product. It's part of what makes AEW good in that way. But the problem that AEW has is the exact opposite, where it's more about wrestling than it is about story, and they don't really understand how to pull story properly. And I think it's because they're trying to do the stories without writers coming in to say, "Hey, what if you did this? What if you did that?" I think there's supposed to be a good marriage of the two, and you end up getting solid wrestling. And
so this is what
solid pro wrestling.
Izzy, you got to start selling all your art like crazy. And then you can buy AEW and WWE, and then you can mesh them together and write good scripts and have good in-ring and just have it be one huge, awesome federation.
Yeah, no.
But I'm gonna have to end it there,
I don't mind being a booker because I've watched wrestling for such a long time in my life that I
can't be
see a lot of these.
white.
Yeah, whatever. But the reality of it, I've been watching wrestling since I was a little baby. I can't even tell you when I started watching wrestling because I watched wrestling. I saw the first WrestleMania as a kid, and I go all the way back to that, and I've seen how stories progress. There is some level of storytelling that needs to happen in wrestling. And you know what? When NWA was hot, right before WCW, NWA was hot. Dusty Rhodes was the best baby face you could think because he was real. They just don't know how to do that. Everything has to be larger than life, and people don't want larger than life. People want people that they can relate to.
I am going to have to end it there, guys, just because I've got another recording to do in about half an hour, and then I've got another show at 7:30.
No one cares.
But
Oh, man.
I really do appreciate you guys coming on. This has probably been the longest wrestling review I've had on Aussieverse, so I really appreciate your comments, your thoughts, and I hope to see you guys for WrestleMania.
Sounds good.
Oh, that's 4 days, man.
Where can everybody find you guys? This is where you promote yourself.
How do you promote?
I'll go. Okay.
I was trying to give DVH the opportunity to speak.
I'm on Only Slabs on Saturday on Robert Fat Stacks of Comics.
I'm gonna miss the live, bro.
It's earlier than normal. I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna miss the live. Sucks.
It's 4 p.m. In the UK. I know that much.
It's gonna be 11:30 over here, I think.
Okay. The rest of the time, I'm dipping in and out of lives at the moment. I really need to record some more content, and then the channel will be more active again. But you'll see me around, and hopefully, I'll be on the next one of these. It'll be fun.
Fantastic. Izzy, don't worry. No one wants to see your other shows. And Matt, thank you very much for joining us as well. No, come on, Izzy. Where can people find you?
DVH.
DVH, look at that.
Legitimately shocked, bro. Legitimately shocked.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You can find me. You can find me on the corner of the street holding up a cardboard sign that says "We'll wrestle for food," but please don't make me wrestle. I'm tired. Just give me some food, please. Thank you. Appreciate it.
We also want to say thank you to all of our for-lifers. These are the people that do spend a little bit of money each and every month to help Aussieverse behind the scenes. You can check out the other YouTube channels that has the YouTube logo next to them. They are all comic book channels, but they are all very different from each other. And I personally watch them myself. Dr. Van Hoot, I need to put one next to your name. I apologize.
Yeah, man. What's wrong with you? You didn't put you didn't put the logo in there? What's wrong with you, man?
You have to spell my name right as well.
Yeah, dude. You got to learn how to spell Dr. Van Hoot.
Oh, Von Hoot. Oh, my God. Okay, I'll have a talk to the director of bedroom activities.
And like I was saying before, Bo, come in. You can watch me every Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern. We talk top trending comics, me and Cliff. It is legitimately one of the funnest shows you will ever watch. You will crack up laughing, and you get to get some informational stuff. We're going to do a lot of good stuff in that show. So go check that out. 7 o'clock. Eastern Standard Time in New York. Top trending comics, and then you can always find me on Cover Price on Mondays as well. So I also do the Cover Price top 10. So yeah, I actually work with a comic book company. So,
there you go.
So there you have
it. And I've bought some art off Izzy as well, and I can
that
say
he still doesn't have
because I've never gotten them. Thank you, guys.
So Matt, you don't know the story. I send the books over to Mad Spidey.
He sent them to somebody else.
Well, that's because it's freaking Australia, man. I'm not going to send everybody a book.
Hey, at least you sent your stuff. I'm still waiting for Madams from freaking God knows how long. Anyway, I digress.
You and Madam, bro. But
I digress.
They're in
Aussieverse. Aussieverse for life, my boys.
What's Aussieverse?
Sorry,
Come on.
For life.
Everyone did it except Izzy. Izzy, you're a wanker.